It's back.
Oh,
Big
playing your song.
silence.
Copyright. Apologies.
Yeah.
Yes, fam. Listen.
You have some problems, you need God to solve them. You get down on your knees and pray. When is he coming through? When will he answer you? Well, it may not be right away, but in the meantime, just keep your mind in a positive attitude. And while you're waiting, start praising. He is gonna see you through. Here's what you got to do. Praise him till your blessings come. Come on and praise him till your situation turns around. You gotta lift up your voice and say hallelujah. Hallelujah anyway. Come on, praise him till your blessings come down. Praise him till your situation turns around. You gotta lift up your voice and say hallelujah anyway. Hallelujah anyway.
Yeah, what I'm saying. I'm going to put the link into it. Whee! Another day, another 24 hours of chaos. Yeah, so just really wanting to send out lots of love to everybody, because there's a lot of things going on, which I'll cover. But first, I wanted to give you X-Gate update. And needless to say, it's radio silence on both fronts there. No, they've not replied. Neither of them have got anything to say. It's my son's birthday today. It's my son's 9th birthday today. And his dad, neither of them have got no reason, no evidence, nothing. They're just purely on hate and ego. Because I wanted to build something actually ultimately for my kids, and talk about the experiences that I've had from their relationships as a means to help others that are in such relationships. My eldest son, Charlie, his dad has blocked me, won't reply to any of the correspondence, not through the solicitor or the court. So they've really got nowhere to go. And now he's blocked me even from speaking to him on his birthday. I don't know whether he's, I've sent presents. I don't know whether he's even given them to him. And when you've been the sole caregiver for 9 years and done everything, and then that's the way, as if it wasn't bad, you know, it's like just for no reason. So my son will watch this, someday soon. And I want him to know that I'm thinking about him on his birthday if he hasn't been given his birthday presents that I've sent. And that I think he's a beautiful little boy. And that it's all going to work out. They don't know what's coming. So, and it's what's even worse as well is that, you know, my mum has done more for my children than both of their dads and their families combined in the last 9 years. And they've blocked her from speaking to her grandchildren for no reason other than an extended hate of their hate for me. So they won't even let my mum speak to her grandchildren. They've blocked her as well. And I think that's, I mean, their behaviour just speaks for itself, really. But, you know, my mum has been there for them more than they ever were. Has given more to them than they ever did as well. So it's just very upsetting. So she was very upset today. And it just as if the time itself was not horrendous enough, but the continued emotional battlefield that they are perpetuating and creating and using my children as the weapons is disgusting. So all of this is just evidence, more evidence that works in my corner for when we go to court. Got over 140 odd hours of digital evidence, and all of their behaviour is catalogued live, so they don't have a legal leg to stand on between them, any of them. So it's just crazy. It's crazy that I was the one trying to, despite everyone else telling me no, telling me I should stop them from seeing their children because of how they behave to me. And I didn't want to do that. I wanted them to have a relationship with their dad because I think having dads around is important. And then look. It's just straight crazy. So I want to be spiritual vibe today, and this links to that because I was thinking I was upset about this earlier, but the thing is, because I know what's coming, and I know all the evidence. So I know that it's fine. There's just speaking the truth. I don't hate them. I just, at the end of the day, it's the truth. And it's always going to get on someone's nerves, isn't it? It's always going to get on some because they've been called out. So but they've gone way too far for way too long, and everything that they're doing is just evidence for me against them. And yet they continue. So there's not really much else to say about that other than I genuinely don't hate them. I don't think anything. I love my kids. That's all that matters to me. That's all that's ever mattered to me. So, but I was watching. I was upset about it earlier, and I was thinking about it, and then I clicked onto my phone, and this video came up, and it was this lady in America, and she was telling the story about how she woke up in the middle of the night, and she's like, God had spoken to her and said to go and read Samuel in the Bible. So, and obviously my ex's name is Samuel. So she went and she read it, and the person in it is also called Hannah, and that's my name. That's my that's my birth name before I changed it. And it was about judgment coming. So the universe is just always there, always listening, always working for us. So there's really nothing to be worried about or fearful of. And there's a lot of crazy stuff going on at the minute. And I think it's important just to remember that if you're a spiritual person, not everyone is, but more and more people are waking up to what's kind of going on, and the corruption and the lies and media and all of that. Everyone's waking up to it. Everyone's at different stages. And also just your spiritual journey, if you have one. So again, so not everyone is on that vibe, but loads and loads of people are. And it doesn't really, it makes no difference. Not that's the wrong word. Like, whatever faith you have, it's still having faith in something greater than yourself. So it's many prophets, one message, and understanding that we are, again, this will only fits people that understand about spirituality, and that we are spiritual beings, and we're universally connected. And that, I was listening to this, I listened to an audiobook earlier called The Magic Path to Intuition. It's only a short one, I'll put a link into it. And it's basically saying about how prayer is like your direct line to God, source, creator, whatever you want to, whatever resonates with you, from whatever faith it's this. But prayer is that direct line to source. but we don't always listen to the answer, which is our intuition. So our intuition and the ideas that come and the imagination is the answer, is the callback. But we're not always in the receptive mood. We're not always listening. We're not always listening to the answer. We'll pray, and they'll be like, why is he answering? It's like he has that. I say Source has been answering, universe has been answering. We just might not be in the right place to listen, or intentionally ignoring, because we're too busy doing something that we want to do in the short term, that gives us a short term like a temporary escape or whatever it is, and then we miss the callback. Because there's always signs, there's always synchronicities, there's always getting the answer. And the more you tune into it, the more you get, until it's sort of a constant flow of asking and then receiving. Whether that's an idea or an inspiration or an impulse to do something or go somewhere or meet someone or whatever, it's coming from the same place. And what's great is that everyone is waking up now to more and more to what's going on, and it's the momentum. You can feel it, you can see it. So every single, within 24 hours, just watch more and more they come, because when you haven't done anything wrong, and this is individually and collectively, and yet still there's this craziness going on, and more people are just coming out and speaking their truths and being honest, and so more and more things are being exposed. And then the people and institutions and companies that are responsible for certain things in certain places, they just, their fuckery is just being exposed on the next level. And it's great, because ultimately the power, we all have the power. We've always had it. We just didn't realize we had it. So if we want things to change, we can change them. We can change them ourselves. We can change them in our own communities. We don't have to wait to be told to do things the right way. We don't have to wait to be told to behave in a certain way. We don't have to wait. We just have to just be kind, just be human, just realize that we're all here and we're all fighting battles that we may not necessarily see. And we should understand that, because each of us individually are fighting battles. So if we are, everyone is. And we already know that. It's just understanding that. Just being kind. It's not rocket science. Being nice. And trying to understand from other people's perspectives. And understanding that we are all different, and that's what makes us great. And that we all have the power within ourselves to have an impact on this world. A massive impact. As much as little as you want to, but you can still have an impact. You can still be a hero. You can be a legend. You can be whatever you want to be. That's the point. You can literally be whatever you want to be. There's no ceiling. There's no limit. There's no anything. And the universe is there, just got our back. And so although it'd be nice to be able to click our fingers and everything just fall into place and everything be hunky-dory, it's just, that would be perfect, but it just doesn't work like that. There's a lot of problems to sort out, but they are getting, because the thing is, when you see the systems and the people in these upper echelons, and you see them for what they are, and the things that they have done, you can stand strong because you're like, well, you're right. There's all these more shootings that have gone on. But and my thoughts and prayers go to all those families, because it's just, it must be horrendous. But that they're wrong. And that they should have body cam footage. And all of that should be available to the public, to you, to the public. And that's going to exactly show that they're guilty. And also, any move made to try and hide that from you or from the public just makes them look guilty, even more guiltier than they already are. Because then they're actively trying to hide it. More than that. Remember, we're all, right now, more than ever before, we're all reporters, we're all investigators. Not everyone wants to be, but a lot of people do, and a lot of people are speaking up, and it's amazing, and it's great. Because the more people that do, the greater the awakening of consciousness is of everybody everywhere. So everyone can be an investigator, everyone can be a reporter, everyone can be like a community police, over here the PCSOs or something. We should all be vigilant. We should all be looking out for each other. It shouldn't be a chore. It should be standard. Like when we go outside, when we're walking down the street, if we see something wrong, then get your phone out and record it. Help that person. Record that wrong. Because then that's digital evidence. Because the other thing that has just been, saying is that, you can't rely on witnesses no more. Because in case they don't know what. Well, we've all got one. We've all got one of these. So record it every time. You see a wrong, record it. If you see someone where you think it's appropriate, where you can get physically involved to stop some kind of hate crime, then stop it. If it's appropriate and safe to do so, or record it so that there's evidence, so they can see the person. So it means that that person then has got backing because there's people around that've seen it. If it's possible to do that. There's a kid over here just recent, at the weekend. This 21-year-old, and I apologise because I can't say his name in full. I'll embarrass myself. I'll say it really wrong, and I will. But his friend's name is Jimmy. He's 21. he was walking across London Bridge, and two people were had fallen in or jumped in to the River Thames. So him and his mate, walking home from work, decided to jump. They didn't have to, but they heard them screaming, and they jumped in to try and rescue these two. And Jimmy got sucked under and passed away. And they searched for him for only an hour. They couldn't find him, and then he was washed up the next day at 6 o'clock in the morning. But what a hero! You have to do that. He lost his life, and they still lived. They lived. But he's a hero. But each of us, we have the opportunity to save lives. Each of us. Whether that's, being there, witnessing, or recording, things that happen when you're out and about, or just being there if somebody needs you. When people are in situations where they can't talk about their feelings, because we are emotional beings, and we should speak about our feelings. We shouldn't be trapped in like a mental cell, not able to talk about these things that we all go through. We shouldn't be made to feel bad about having emotions or having these bad experiences that we all have experienced at some form or other. It's not shameful, it's not embarrassing, it's life. It's life that we all go through to more or lesser extent. And I was thinking earlier, I was like, I'm still trying to do Ramadan fam. Yeah. Big respect. How do you're doing this for a month? It's like, and this is the most ridiculous thing, because I was thinking to myself, it's like, earlier on, I was like, I'm hungry. And I just thought, well, the first thing that popped into my head was, there's people starving all over the world. Hundreds of millions. So I can't, there's no way I can possibly moan. There isn't. Do you know what I mean? I gave myself a verbal slap. It's like, shut up. Yeah, you can't moan about that. How can we sit and watch people starve? And obviously with there's so many, obviously with in India, they've obviously got this, what's going on there now. Why is no one using it's just got out of my head. I've shared it loads of times. There's loads of research on it. It's like a steroid. It's supposed to pretty much cure COVID. Ivermectin, and it's cheap, widely available. Why are they not giving? What are the Indian government is basically not doing anything, and it's all left to everyone else to sort it out themselves and try and scurry around and find oxygen and beds and everything else. Like, what is that government doing? Why are they not doing anything? And also, everyone else should be, sending oxygen and what. But why their own government not doing anything either? They're literally not doing a thing. Why is that not? Why are people asking questions about that? Also, there's other things that just getting shoved under the carpet, like Syria and Ethiopia and Myanmar and Iraq and all these other places. It's just the whole thing. It just is suspect. And I've got a load of videos. I found some really interesting, videos from a few different people. There's a kid in America. I say kid, he's 21, called King Randall, which I just love because my son's name's King. He's 21, and he's been teaching men, young boys, how to be men, and various different skills, and teaching. He bought a school. Like, what an absolute inspiration he is to another generation of men. I just think it's really beautiful. So I'm going to share a video about him. But also, I've got a few different ones here. There's a guy called Thomas Sewell. And there's various different videos. And that's actually got some really interesting points on just in terms of the background and systemic racism. And this is what I find. There's one guy, and I mentioned him the other day, this white guy, who's popped up on my radar somehow. And he is so, like, I don't know quite what the right word to use is. But he's basically like, America is not racist. One of them. America's not racist. Everyone should have guns. That kind of vibe. And I know there's lots of people that believe in guns, and I can't really speak to that other than the vast amount of shootings that are going on constantly, which would suggest that having guns is not working out, or at least the people holding the gun. So yeah, then there's a few of these ones that have just come out recently, and I'm going to put them in because I think that they should. These kids that have been shot, and from the various things that I've seen, it doesn't look like there is any rational. There's no crime being committed. They've literally just been shot. So all of that footage should come out. They've got to release it to the family, to the full footage. You can't snippet it and pick and choose bits like some of these people are. And even going back to, I've shared this link yesterday, even going back to this Jacob Blake, and he was shot 7 times in the back. He's paralysed. He's alive though, isn't he? But he's paralysed. And that police officer, right? He wasn't resisting arrest. He wasn't doing anything. He shot him 7 times. 7. He was put on administrative leave with full pay for what now, almost a year, and then he's come back to work with nothing's been done. Nothing's happening against this guy, this police officer. Then I've got a few videos which are actually important if you're interested in politics, and it's like America, UK, and Russia. And this is from a channel called The Grey Zone, because if you understand what the grey zone is what we're in right now, where we're all on the front line. All of us. And these are people that used to work in the White House, veterans, people who have worked on cases, and they're coming out with facts about certain things. So you've got one which is to do with Russiagate, and this references a UK spy who basically is fraud. Not if that's probably not the right word, but it's not. It was all sort of based on lies. Honestly, you've got to watch it to believe it. You don't have to believe me. Watch this. Yeah, this is next level. This is next level. About dossiers that were paid by Clinton, and they were using this British spy, and it was all based on lies to make Russia look bad. I mean, obviously but it was all, when it was to do with Trump getting in power. But these are actual, people that worked on these cases on the inside, and they're all coming out now. Big up yourselves. So there's lots of that. So I'm going to put those in because they're really, really interesting. I'm going to put this thing in. Listen to this audiobook about listening, the magical path of your intuition. Always listen to your intuition. This story is, I think, unbelievable. Well, no, because I don't want it to sound bad. You'll see what I mean. So, the Senate have overwhelmingly passed an Asian American discrimination bill, which is great for Asian Americans. And right. But what it does mean and highlight, why has this, so they've done that this is just not long happened. An overwhelming majority, 94-1, passing this Asian American discrimination bill for hate crimes that have been committed during COVID. Why then? So that's Republicans and Democrats. Why then has nothing of the same been done for Black people or Native American or any other ethnicity? It's like they've passed that so quickly and easily without any problem. 94-1. They have not done one for other people that are getting hate crimes daily for years, hundreds of years. So yeah, there's that, and then there's a couple of other things, and then my last thing was I don't know if you know. I don't know. You might know. Some people might know. Lots of people do know. Sorry. Which is, no matter what has happened, no matter what has happened, just because of what I'm experiencing, I guess, in terms of just my own spiritual journey and connection to the universe, and the constant flow of energy, evidence that is, I ask and it's given. So, and this is on a relationship front, like I still believe in love, even after everything, I still believe in it. I still believe in true love. I still believe in soulmates. I still believe there's even, not everyone, or at least a lot of people that I know around here don't know necessarily about twin flames and, the kind of spiritual side of things like that. But I absolutely believe in it. I absolutely believe in it. I know it, in fact, actually, because a twin flame is the other half of you. So when when you've got your soul is split into two. So there is another, your counterpart, your women are divine feminines, and then there's divine masculine. So there is a man or woman, whichever way that works for you. There is another half of you in someone else, somewhere else on this planet. And that is a happy ending. It's a fairy tale ending. It's a perfect union. And it's divine. It's, heaven sent. It's created for you. So even though I may not have had the best relationships, to put it mildly, it's never going to stop me from believing in love, because there is unconditional love. There is unconditional love for each and every one of us right now, right here. And there is also a special someone for each and every one of us somewhere. So just never give up on love, and never give up on yourself, and never settle for anything less than you imagine. And in that, I'll put some links into this, but a twin flame is a flame. It's a burning, never-ending, eternal love for someone. That you can't quite explain or define or put into a box. You can't. It's just all encompassing, all knowing, all seeing, all sensing, all. It's just there. So it does exist. And true love is real. It's there. So just don't settle for less than you're worth. You know, if you want the fairy tale, it's there. Just imagine it, dream it, manifest it. And it will come. So lots of love, as always. And better days are coming. Better days are coming. And with every 24 hours that passes, you can see it. You see it before your eyes. More and more and more and more and more and more and more stuff just keeps coming. As more and more and more and more people start speaking their truths. And it's just a wonderful thing. So you just got to believe. Keep the faith. And remember that united, we win. Divided, we fall. So, I love you, and I will see you tomorrow for more ranting and raving. You know? Can't get enough. Love you.